have clear and timely updates on the different stages of their application process. Whilst this is frustrating for students, it also means missed leads and missed opportunities for education providers. In this fireside chat, we will discuss process management in the student recruitment funnel and all that is needed to ensure a timely and transparent communication process between applicants, agencies, and education providers. We'll delve into the roles, responsibilities, and opportunities for recruitment professionals, and especially zoom into the digital tools that are needed to facilitate real-time communication, similar to a track and trace, in the student recruitment process. Joining us for this fireside chat are Naresh Gulati, CEO and founder of Ascent One, Rachel Fletcher, CEO and co-founder of UniQuest, and moderator Martijn van der Veen, CBDO at ICEF.
So welcome Rachel and Naresh. Rachel, UniQuest?
Yeah, I like that.
Right, human error maybe?
Maybe.
It was an AI voiceover, but they make mistakes as well. I'm delighted to have you both on this stage for this panel about track and trace in international student recruitment, and we'll debate whether that exists or not, and whether it's even possible to have one. And this is a fireside chat. Now, no fire here, but it just means I will be firing off questions to the both of you, experts on this topic, and I'll give the right answers for us and shed some light into this digital jungle, as I called it earlier. Now, before we go to a proper introduction of the both of you, I'd actually like to first ask our audience to respond to a poll. So the audience here in the room can respond to the poll, and also the audience online. The poll will appear on the screen in a bit. There we go. This is the Q&A. The poll before that. The poll should sound: what is the biggest barrier to implementing a track and trace? There we go. System in international student recruitment. So you can select your answer directly from your smartphone or your device. You can scan this code right here, or go to slido.com and enter the user word ICEF Digital, the participant code ICEF Digital in one word. It's not case sensitive. And as the audience on site and online is answering this poll, maybe now is a good moment for a brief introduction. Rachel, may I start with you?
Sure, my name's Rachel Fletcher. I started and run UniQuest. We help organisations, universities mostly in the UK, with their student engagement and conversion activities. So we've handled a couple of million students now over the last 11 years, resulting in around 400,000 enrolments, and everything we do every day is exactly what we're talking about today, communication.
400,000 enrollments. That you needed to use AI for that.
A little bit.
A little bit, good. Thanks for being honest. Naresh.
My name is Naresh Gulati. I'm the founder and the CEO of Ascent One and BPO Intelligence, based out of Australia. I came to Australia as an international student in '95, so I know the experience what a student has and the anxiety what he has during the process. So, got a technology company which most of the universities in Australia use for one or the other purposes.
Wonderful. So you know the experience as an international
Absolutely,
student.
I've been on the other side of the fence.
On the other side of the fence. How was it to be on this side of the fence?
Well, I'm trying to build the connection and trying to resolve the problems what I faced as a student and as an agent as well. I ran one of the largest agency in my past life in India as well. So this is my field.
Right. So obviously we have a very experienced panel with us dealing with hundreds of thousands of students. Let's take a look at the results of the poll. I think people are still voting, but the number one answer is difficulty integrating systems across departments and with the agencies. I think that's a good way to start, actually, Rachel. Well, first of all, what do you think of the result of the poll? You can also see it behind you. It's far away, but
It's not surprising. I think there are fundamental issues within institutions around the expertise, budget, capacity, resource to really leverage the best in technology, and that's across existing technologies which universities try to grapple with, be that CRM or email marketing systems or even student record systems. And I think layering on AI and all the hype, I know Matt just mentioned before, around AI is just incredibly difficult in that environment with such often disjointed systems across an institution.
Yeah, so it's really about expertise. You mentioned budget, capacity, and resource. There's a couple of things that we will indeed be looking at. But let's maybe start with saying, what do we actually mean with the track and trace, right? I can briefly explain it, as you saw in the video. When we order something, a commodity or product, or food, or whichever product, then you get an email or a notification almost too many. Every second of that step of the process, you get an update. Where's your product? How much more time it will reach you? And the only thing that is annoying probably is when it says it will arrive between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and it arrives at 3 p.m. Right? But we're not even there yet as an industry, right? It's very often that the students do not get all these updates that they actually deserve or are waiting for. I mean, they're considering their future, where to go for that future, and they apply. And I believe, Rachel, 1 in 5 students never get an answer, and the ones that do get an answer, only 30% get follow-up answers there. So maybe let's start with the track and trace. Where is then where are the main bottlenecks in allowing us to set up a proper track and trace? Is it even possible?
For me, I think one of the things to remember, and it was interesting listening to some of the sessions this morning, is that it's not transactional. Everyone in this room knows that. You know, students aren't buying a toaster on Amazon. They're making a huge decision, and it might take them 3 months or several years to eventually make their way to the institution. And that in itself presents complexities about the deployment of anything that looks like track and trace within the sector, because it can take a really long time. There has to be really, really robust, managed, careful data capture to inform all the deployment of all of that activity. And I think some of those fundamentals, again, which have been discussed this morning, aren't there. Like you said, we know from a large mystery shopper project we do called the Inquiry Experience Tracker, which is run every year with Edify, that 1 in 5 students still doesn't get any response from an institution. Of those who do get any proactive follow-up, only 20% of those students who actually have the initial response and the latest results get any proactive follow-up. So there are some really basic things which universities have to be able to grapple with, which is really difficult before anything else more sophisticated is laid on top of that around this track and trace right through to enrollment.
I'd say those are nearly embarrassing numbers as an industry, that only 20% actually gets a response. And I would agree with you, and I'm sure everyone agrees that yes, we're not buying a toaster and a Naresh, but then again, a student does go through a process. So at any given time, the student is somewhere in that process. What stops us from informing that student of where he or she is in that process?
Well, I just want to say something in response to 1 out of 5, only getting response. And
Don't get a response.
Don't get a response. So if you look at this, some of the universities are in higher demand. They actually don't even care. And that's the honest truth in the industry, because what they do is they've already got more demand than what they have to say. So there's a decision made around the budget cuts and the costs, so they don't even invest there. But from the student's perspective, it's a very painful journey. It is not, like rightly Rachel said, it's not just a transactional thing. You go beyond that. It's an emotional thing. And universities have a challenge today. There's so many, they've got so many systems running within the organization. They're highly fragmented. It's like scattered like dog's breakfast. Nothing talks of anything. So
Like dog's breakfast.
so if you look at that, nothing talks of anything, and that's where the problem comes. In my experience, it's a painful experience for them, even highly resourced.